In this video, we're going to be looking at the Freezer 7 Pro Revision 2 CPU cooler from Arctic Cooling. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to unbox this CPU cooler since my previous one kind of broke on me. The push pins, since I have an LGA 775 chipset, broke. We'll start off by saying that this is a universal CPU cooler. It works on Intel sockets and AMD sockets. For Intel sockets, it works on 1366, 1156 and 775. I'm using LGA 775. For AMD sockets, it supports AM3, AM2+, AM2, 939 and 754. This CPU cooler features a 92mm fan and 6 heat pipes. As well as that, it also has 42 fins for efficient heat dissipation and pre-applied Arctic MX2 thermal grease or compound, whichever terminology you prefer to use. I prefer compound. The heatsink itself is 104mm in length, 58 in width, and 126.5 in height. Again, the fan is 92mm. The fan speed is between 900 and 2500 RPM when controlled by a power management controller. I don't have one of those, so later on we'll see how it goes without one. For the airflow, it's 45 CFM. For the max cooling capacity, we have 130 watts. For the bearing, we have a fluid dynamic bearing. The weight is 520 grams. The warranty on it is 6 years, so that's pretty nice and decent. This cost me around £24. You can probably get it for around the same price from other UK retailers. I'm not sure what that is in US dollars since the rates are always changing, so you will have to see how much that is in US dollars or whichever other currency you're using. The case, which is housing all of this, the motherboard, the CPU and the cooler, is a Cooler Master Elite 330 mid-tower case. If you're not familiar with that case, it's a mid-tower, as I've said before. It's what I use, but on the side panel there is a vent and an air guide. Now, because of the size of this cooler, the air guide kind of gets in the way, so I had to uninstall that. No big problem, doesn't really matter to me, but that's probably something you want to consider. It does fit nice and snug and there's plenty of room still. If we go into either 64 Extreme Edition, what you can see is for the temperatures right now it's about 36 to 38 degrees Celsius, and this is while recording. Usually it's around 26 to 28 degrees Celsius when doing things like surfing the web or something like that. I've yet to check the temperatures when playing a game and it's at full load, but this is a lot cooler than the stock cooler that I was using. In addition to that, this cooler has allowed me to overclock my CPU to 3.63 GHz, and I probably could go further, but I'm happy with that at the moment. As you can see here, the fan speed is 1735 to 1740 RPM. This is again without a power management controller. As for being quiet, I'd say the loudest component in my computer prior to using this was my video card. That was barely audible. This is kind of noticeable, but not annoyingly loud. So, if you're interested in using this CPU cooler, and you're probably asking the question, is it worth the money? Do I recommend it? My answer is yes, I'm perfectly happy with this CPU cooler. I expect it to give me long-lasting cooling, just for air right now. And do I have any CPU coolers aftermarket to compare this to? Like I said before, no. This is the first aftermarket CPU cooler I've ever bought. Prior to that, again, stock. So check out this at any retailer you can find. Until next time, I'm going to just leave some gameplay video maybe. Now I've overclocked my CPU even further. Again, until next time, thank you for watching, and goodbye.
You will scream like a little girl while we... Die! Can't die! Leave me alone!
Look at that statue. It's identical to one in the Villa Auditore. I think you've stumbled onto one of the assassin's tombs Ezio's uncle mentioned.
Now that we know the way in, I'll tag the landmarks containing tombs in the database.